That was a daring prediction because for month on month, the market was in bull run right from the month of April, May, June. So July was a daring prediction and it has proved correct. Now for the month of August, we had predicted the month will be divided in two parts. One part is bullish, one part is bearish. September was a 5.73%, 10% correction in 2026 September month. So this is my prediction for September. We are expecting around 3% downside in the. Yeah, let me complete. The semiconductor indices, SOX, you can expect around 15 to 20% downside.
Okay, and what about the technology then and the AI sector? I sort of feel that semiconductor sits within that, but I'm still going to ask you.
See, semiconductor and as well as AI, the market, that was the problem on 15th of September. The date, I'm quite aware of the date because I was active in the market at that time in Nifty and Sensex. So I do remember 15th of September 2008, Lehman Brothers had.
Wow, that's very interesting. I never thought that power and energy would sort of come down because it's such a high requirement. Hello Sanjay ji, welcome back. How are you?
What about you? I'm good at my end. I hope things are fine in Sydney, in Australia, and at your family front also. Yes, please.
Yes, everything is fantastic at my end. It's still very cold out here. We are in winter and it was getting better, so we thought, and now today it's freezing. But we're here to talk about the US equity market. So let's talk about the stock market in September 2026. What's your view? Bullish, bearish, or highly volatile? What are the planets telling us today?
Okay. The thing is as such, once I'll again take you in the flashback. In the month of July, we did our first episode for US equity market, where on a monthly episode I'm talking about, where we had projected a daring prediction that in the month of July, there will be a correction of 5 to 6% in Nasdaq 100 and NDX. And to our viewer surprise, we are dot on the target. In the month of July, we had, bang on the target rather, 5 to 7% correction was there in Nasdaq 100. And in all the major indices, there is a correction in the month of July. So our prediction was absolutely 100% correct. Will you agree with me, Shruti?
I absolutely agree with you. In fact, we were talking about it in our August episode, and you are absolutely bang on with that prediction.
Yeah, and that was a daring prediction because for month on month, the market was in bull run right from the month of April, May, June. So July was a daring prediction and it has proved correct. Now for the month of August, we had predicted that month will be divided in two parts. One part is bullish, one part is bearish. Although we had said bearish in the first part and bullish in the second part for the month of August, whereas it has gone reverse. The first part is bullish right now and the second part is going to be played from today, 17th, today is Monday, and I'm now revising it, but that this second fortnight will be a bearish one, and US equity market I'm talking about for the month of August. Now that is it, and overall the month will be flat on a flattish note. The month of August we are going to close on a flattish note. Now when we are going for September month, now I'm starting my prediction henceforth for the month of September. September is traditionally a turning point in US equities. When I have collated data that right from COVID period 2020 onwards. So in September 2020, the figure was in the month of September in NDX, Nasdaq 100 I'm referring to right now, it is 5.72% negative figure in the month of September 2020. Although bullish trend was there after COVID, the episode was over, but still September was an exception. It was a negative month in 2020. Same story was there in 2021 also. Out of nowhere, September was a red month, 5.73% downside in the month of September 2021. Whereas in 2022, the figure was altogether different because 2022 was, Russia-Ukraine war had started and the interest rate had increased like anything in US in 2022. So over there in the month of 2022, September was 10.60% downside. It's a big downside, 10.60% downside, referring to Nasdaq 100 only. So 2023, again, it is downside 5.07% negative, whereas 2024, it was positive close 2.48% and 2025 was a positive close 5.40%. So this is the history of last 6 years of US equity market for the month of September. Now, my prediction for the month of September as a whole, we will be dividing it into subdivision and other sectoral indices also. But for the month, we are expecting around 10% correction in 2026 September month. So this is my prediction for Nasdaq 100. I'm referring it, make it very particular. Nasdaq 100, it will be 10% correction. And for the other indices, yes, I can give other indices figures also. But for Nasdaq 100, it will be 10% downside in the month of September 1st to September 30th. So that is my prediction. And I expect the viewers to safeguard their holdings, how they can play out. This is my prediction in the month of September. We are going to have a big downside over there. Yes, Shruti.
So I absolutely, totally understand that. Now let's look at the other indices before I go into the weekly outlook. I mean, what is the S&P and the Dow doing?
Okay. Now I'll start from Dow Jones first. Dow Jones at the moment, the all-time high in this month only, in the month of August, we had seen all-time high 54,744 on 5th of August. I don't see that this will be broken in this month. And for the month of September, we are expecting around 3% downside in Dow Jones. 3% downside in Dow Jones in the month of September, in a full month.
And what about the S&P 500?
S&P 500, I'm expecting 2% downside. The current all-time high is 7,816. Fixed on or got it on 13th of August. 13th of August, it has hit all-time high, intraday all-time high, 7,816, although it has not closed yet on 7,800 plus. But the figure is 7,816. We are taking this figure. And whatever the figures are there on 30th of August, 31st of August rather, on the Monday, there will be Monday. So for the month of September, I'm expecting 2% cut in S&P 500, 3% in Dow Jones and 2% in S&P 500.
I suppose that would be something that would happen because technically everybody is expecting the S&P to go up to 8,100 to 8,200.
8,100 or 8,200, above 7,816, whatever the figure has been achieved right now, anything above this will be a bonus. Above this, I'm very skeptical, very pessimistic if anything goes beyond 7,816 right now, because astrologically I'm talking about. See, I'm not a technical person. I will not give you technical figures, 8,100 or like that. But the thing is, as such, I'm expecting the correction will start soon. In this week only, correction will start, and this will not be broken. But yes, some technical analysts are saying 8,000 or 8,100 also. Yes, can happen in the month of October or sort of it. But for the month of September, we are not expecting that this will be broken right now.
I absolutely understand. Now, if we break down the weeks, I mean, are we looking at 1st to 15th again and 15th to 30th? How are we going to break this down? When is the highs? When are the lows? When are the dips?
See, when we are going for a week-on-week basis, then I am expecting first week is bearish, second week bullish. Bullish means recovery, not bullish. Recovery will be there in the second week. Third week again downside, big downside, and fourth week again some kind of recovery from the downside. So overall, the figures that are already spoken, that Dow Jones will be 3%, Nasdaq will be 5%, Nasdaq 100 it will be 10%, S&P 500 it will be 2%. Yeah, let me complete. The semiconductor indices, SOX, you can expect around 15 to 20% downside. 15 to 20% in semiconductor indices.
Okay, and what about the technology then and the AI sector? I sort of feel that semiconductor sits within that, but I'm still going to ask you.
See, semiconductor and as well as AI, the market, that was the problem area because, the costing is not coming, and this is one problem area. I'm giving you multiple problems which are going to emerge in US equity market. First is that is AI costing. Second one is bond yield, and the bond yield. The reason behind bond yield is Japan. Yen sales are there. The yen currency is getting weakened, and they had huge investments in US equity market. Once that they will start liquidating US bonds, the treasury bonds. So then everything goes for a toss, and because of that reason, we are very bullish for metals for the month of September, because the money which is getting out from US equities will be channelized into gold and silver.
Understood. Now, then I'm going to ask you, what about the financial sector, particularly the US banks? Because I do feel there is an impact on the banks when, all this is happening on the side with the treasury yields and all.
See, I'm not very hopeful for the banks also. The pressure will be on banks once the correction will start. Banks will definitely face a lot of pressure. And just to give you a reference, in November 2008, 2008, there was a global meltdown. At that time, the month of September was a historical month in 2008, when Lehman Brothers was collapsed on 15th of September. The date I'm quite aware of the date because I was active in the market at that time in Nifty and Sensex. So I do remember 15th of September 2008, Lehman Brothers had been collapsed. It's a big bank, and Citibank has also faced a lot of problems at that time. So we might face big problems with banks in US. I will not name any bank, that it is not right on my part that I name any bank, but the pressure will be on banks and NBFCs also. NBFCs, yes.
Right. Then I'm going to ask you another question. For individuals who are heavily invested in US equities going into September, what should they be doing in this volatile month?
See, it's a volatile month, but I would advise our viewers, although this is a disclaimer clause, that we are not going for a direct buying or selling advice to any client, but I foresee that big downfall, and this is a spiral downfall. This is not the end of the story. The month of September is a turning point for the months to come. and years to come rather. But for the time being, we are referring to that September is a turning point. We have seen all-time high in the month of April, May, June, and in July also. But now that story is over, and we are going to have entering into a bear phase in US equity market, and September will be the month which will decide the future month's outcome.
Understood. Now, let's look beyond the major indices. Which area of the US market do you think could outperform in September? I mean, we've talked about AI and technology not doing so well. So what area?
The area for the month of September, I would say it will be defensive sector, that FMCG sector, and then consumable sector, industry, consumer durable, and the household products. Those companies will do well, and entertainment industry will do well, right? And media will do well. So these sectors will do well, and defense to some extent. Defense also will do well, but financials, banks, AI, then micro chips. These all sectors will face a lot of pressure in the month of September. The big correction will come into semiconductor industry as such, and chip industry, then all these allied sectors, power, infrastructure will face a lot of pressure because money is getting sucked out from the market. Yes, please.
Wow, that's very interesting. I never thought that power and energy would sort of come down because it's such a high requirement.
No. For the month of September, yes, all these things will come down. You will come to know, and when we do the review mid of September, then I will give you the figures that these are the statistics. You can correlate what I've said at that time.
Understood. Now, if I asked you for the boldest prediction for September in 2026, what is the one thing that you believe will happen in US equities that most investors are not expecting?
The investors are not expecting this much correction, and there can be a shock. I can foresee due to some reason, some shock will be there. Market after March 2020, maybe one circuit breaker will be applied.
Define that, sorry.
Circuit, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, circuit can be applied. The crash will be there, one crash will be there, and I'm expecting that would be the shock for the investors, that circuit has been applied due to XYZ reasons. I'm expecting that kind of crash situation in US equity market, in Nasdaq or Dow Jones.
Got it. All right, Luca, I'm at the end of asking my questions. Is there anything that you feel people should know about September before we close?
That is it. I think we have summed up everything. Month of September, I had just said to you, it would be a start of spiral downside. At the moment, Nasdaq 100, the all-time high is 30,762. So we are expecting 10%, means 27,000 or odd, 27 to 28,000 figure will be there by 30th of September. But this is not the end. In October, we might come out with some kind of recovery or some more downside, more pain in the market, and this will continue further in the month of November. November will be a deadly month, I would say, right from right now over here. October can be some month where we can see some recovery, but whereas November again will be a downside month, and December also. So we'll come with the details later on, but for the month of September, that people should get conscious and they should safeguard their investments, that in times to come more pain is coming into US equity market. So that is our message. Although there is no buying or selling advice that the correction is there and it is over, that you start buying, no recommendation like that, because we are finding more pain coming into the market. So there's no advice that you should buy by the end of September, nothing like that.
Understood. So thank you for summing that up for us. I totally appreciate your time. We are done with the questions, and thank you for spending time to discuss the equities market in the US.
Thank you, Shruti, and I wish that all the viewers will take our prediction seriously for the month of September, and they will safeguard their investments. Thank you very much.
I absolutely agree. Thank you.
Bye bye.